for selfish ambition. But there are those that minister in love. When you minister in love, you're following all the commandments. See, you've got the strength and the power of God because, see, God is love. And in Him there is no darkness. So you can dwell with God. What happens when we don't? What happens when we get angry with our, the people around us, especially the saints? I mean, if anybody's going to make you angry, it's probably your brother in Christ. Because you expect more from him or her in church or, in daily life than what usually transpires. That's why you have to dedicate yourself to it, because it's not as though people all deserve your love and you walk around in this, oh, everybody just loves me and cares about me. No, you're going to have trials and tribulation. That's just the way that it is. And if you walk in this love, you're certainly going to have tribulation. And usually it'll flow from your brethren in Christ, which is the strangest thing, I know. But for some reason, religion has taken over love. It's replaced love, and that's the way the devil sneaks into your life and my life and gets you thinking about what other people are doing rather than what you yourself happen to be engaged in. God says in Ephesians 4:26, Ephesians 4:26, be angry and do not sin. We can be angry? Oh, you can be angry. Do not sin. He says, do not let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil. Nor let the sun go down on your wrath, nor give place to the devil. See, because if you do let your anger go down with the sun, and you're angry, and you stay angry for days, and for that night even, you give place to the devil. Now, what do you think the devil's going to do? Do you think he's going to pass up that opportunity to have a place in your life, being a Christian? No, he's not going to pass up that opportunity. He's going to send you a special envoy, a little gift of his, which is a demon with something terrible for you, to work on you and see if you'll accept that, and then continue to destroy you. He's come for one thing. He's come to kill, steal, and destroy. We might as well just get that straight up. He's a liar. He's a liar from the beginning. He always comes to you as an angel of light. He wants you to have all the good things of the world, whatever that means, lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. He wants you to have all of that. But we can be of gentle spirit. So he says, let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. Not going to forgive you, forgave you. Let me just read that again. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31. Let all bitterness, wrath, anger, clamor, and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God in Christ forgave you. Oh, what a strong verse. It's that mouth of ours that really gets us in trouble, isn't it? I mean, it sets on fire our lives and burns down things that we never even thought it would. Turn to James, would you? Let's go to James real quickly. James is the brother of Christ, and what a man, he's right to the point. So let's go to, since it's first up, let's go to James chapter 1, verse 22. Well, let's start at 21. Well, we better start at 19, I'm sorry. So then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Boy, that'll keep a lot of us out of trouble, won't it? For the wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Therefore lay aside all filthiness and overflow of wickedness, and receive with meekness the implanted word, which is able to save your souls. It's not talking about your spirit, it's talking about your mind. Your soul is the mind realm. It's able to save your mind. But be doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man observing his natural face in a mirror. For he observes himself, goes away, and immediately forgets what kind of man he was. But he who looks into the perfect law of liberty, well, that's love, that's freedom, and continues in it, and is not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this one will be blessed in what he does. Now I want to submit about our mouth. Now, I've spoken about our mouth. We had Mark 11 verse 23 to go with that, which is a wonderful verse, telling us that our mouth is important. That we must speak. We must say to the mountain. You can't just quietly pray to the mountain. And why would you want to pray to a mountain anyway? That mountain thing has to go. That mountain thing is a problem. That mountain thing is an area in your life that needs to be removed. So we speak to the mountain. We believe in our heart. We do not doubt in our heart, but believe those things which we says. If we believe those things which he says, he shall have whatever he says. Well, saying has a lot to do with our lives. The reason why we're in such trouble usually in our life is because of our mouth yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. Oh, I just can't seem to make things work. These things tend to pour out of our mouth, right? Well, oh, I just, I just can't ever seem to have any money, or, I'll just be poor forever, or, well, see, those things are working in your life, aren't they? Oh, I'm just sick. Every time something comes around, I'm the first one that gets it, and I'm just sick as a dog. I get sick all the time. Sick, 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 sick. And we talk these sick things, and then we have these things in our life. Well, that word is working. You believed in your heart what you said, and you said it and said it and said it. And that's what you've got. And that's what I've got. But we've got to learn to change our mouth, because it's working. It's just working against us. It's working very, very well, what we say. It certainly is coming to pass, isn't it? I'm sure you can think of one or two things in your life which you've spoken of. It certainly is coming to pass, isn't it? It fulfills itself. See, we speak, and we believe in our heart, and it'll happen. I know it's easy to see it in the negative, but what we want to see it is in the positive. We want to have our mouth be guarded. We want to have our mouth speak good things and dwell on what is good and right, what is equitable, what is lovely and kind, what is of good report. I know it's hard in this world. I have a hard time too. It's hard. If you turn on the news, you're almost done for right at that point, unless you really have guarded your heart. But let's see what James says about our mouth. James has a lot to say, but he's very quick about saying it, which is good for us. Let's just start with James chapter 3, verse 1. My brethren, let not many of you become teachers, knowing we shall receive a stricter judgment. For we all stumble in many things. If anyone does not stumble in word, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle the whole body. Indeed, we put bits in horses' mouths that they may obey us, and we turn their whole body with it. I added with it. Look also at ships, although they are so large and are driven by fierce winds, they are turned by a very small rudder, wherever the pilot desires. Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasts great things. See how great a forest a little fire kindles. It's just a tiny little match, that lights up a whole forest fire. And, thousands and thousands of acres are poof, gone. You couldn't even imagine it when you held it in your hand. It's this tiny flame. And as you laid it down to light this little fire that you wanted, it wasn't contained, it shouldn't have been lit. It rages, and sometimes you can't even escape your own fire and you're burned up. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. The tongue is so set among our members that it defiles the whole body and sets on fire the course of nature, and is set on fire by hell. For every kind of beast and bird or of reptile and creature of the sea is tamed, and has been tamed by mankind, but no man can tame the tongue. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. With it we bless God and the Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the similitude of God. Out of the same mouth proceeds blessing and cursing, my brethren. These things ought not to be so. Does a spring send forth fresh water and bitter from the same opening? Can a fig tree, my brother, bear olives, or a grapevine bear figs? Thus no spring yields both salt water and fresh. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom.